All right, let's jump right in because something really profound is happening in science right now. And I don't just mean AI is getting faster. We're talking about AI finding things we never even knew to look for in the first place. And that right there is the key. This isn't just about speed anymore. This is a totally different ballgame. It's about a new kind of sight, a new way of knowing that, it operates way beyond the limits of human perception. I mean, just look at what's been hiding right under our noses. We're talking about lost cities that people literally walked right over for hundreds of years and never saw a thing. A biology problem that stumped the smartest scientists for 50 years. Solved. We're even finding new physics and connections in our own brains that you won't find in any textbook. This isn't just a step forward, it's a whole new frontier. So you have to ask, how is this even possible? What exactly is this new kind of discovery? Well, it's a method that doesn't start where we do. It kind of starts with everything, all at once. And this really gets to the heart of it. AI can see what we can't because it's built to find what are called weak signals. Okay, imagine trying to hear a single whisper in a packed football stadium. For us, impossible. But AI can pick out those super faint, complex patterns across mountains of data that are just completely invisible to us. It loves that kind of chaos. And this right here lays it all out perfectly. We humans, we start with the theory, right? An educated guess. And then we go looking for the evidence. It's a great system, but we're always trapped by our own training, our own biases. AI, on the other hand, it just starts with all the data and works backward. It finds correlations we never, ever would have dreamed of looking for because it doesn't have our assumptions. Okay, so that's the big idea. But let's get into the proof. I want to show you 3 really specific examples that prove just how big this shift is, from ancient history to the future of space, and even inside our own heads. So first up, let's go back in time. Literally, archaeologists have used satellite pictures for years, sure, but AI is now scanning that same data at a scale that no human team could ever hope to match. And what it's finding is, well, it's rewriting history. I mean, this is just incredible. We're talking about whole Mayan cities and forgotten Roman roads just appearing out of jungles and deserts. Infrastructure we had no idea existed. Turns out, the past, it just keeps getting bigger. And it's not just our past here on Earth either. So, this exact same idea applies not just under our feet, but way out in the stars. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope gathered a mind-boggling amount of data. Astronomers went through it all, published their papers, and that was that. The case was closed. Until AI came along and reopened it. And I love this quote because it just captures the whole thing perfectly. The problem wasn't a lack of information. It was our inability to see the tiny signals buried in all the noise. See, discovery isn't always about building bigger telescopes. Sometimes it's about having better eyes. Okay, for our last example, let's turn inward. The field of neuroscience has always been driven by hypotheses. A researcher proposes how a few parts of the brain might connect, and then they design an experiment to test that idea. It's a solid method, but it has a built-in ceiling. You can only find what you think to look for. And what that means is AI isn't just confirming our old theories. It's showing us connections that nobody even thought to propose. This could completely change how we understand everything from memory to mental illness. It's like we've been working with a rough sketch, and AI is starting to fill in the true, unbelievably complex wiring diagram. So, all of this brings us to something way deeper. The real revolution here, it's not just about finding better answers. It's about AI helping us find entirely new questions, questions we didn't even know we were supposed to be asking. It's really easy to look at all this and just think, okay, great, it's a fantastic new gadget for the lab. But that's missing the forest for the trees. This is so much more than just a tool. And that's it, right there. That's the real story. We haven't just built a better calculator or a faster microscope. We have built an engine for curiosity. It's not here to replace scientists. It's here to show them brand new continents to explore. And think about how it does it. It wanders off into areas of possibility that we've trained ourselves to ignore because they seem silly. It suggests experiments that weren't rejected, they were never even thought of. It's fundamentally expanding the very space of what is knowable. So what does all this add up to? Well, there's a really powerful way to think about this new role for AI. In a way, it's become an anomaly detector for reality itself. Think about it. The biggest breakthroughs in history, quantum physics, relativity, they all came from someone noticing these little anomalies, these moments where our models of the world just broke. But that process always relied on luck, on a flash of genius. Well, not anymore.
And that's the bottom line. What this means is we are moving from an age of accidental discovery to an age of intentional, systematized discovery. We've built a machine that can relentlessly hunt for the edges of our understanding and point and say, hey, you need to look right here.
And this leaves us with a truly mind-bending question. For centuries, scientific progress has been like climbing the hills right in front of us, finding the highest point nearby. But what AI is starting to show us is that there are entire mountain ranges out there we never even saw on the map. The question isn't just how to climb higher anymore, but what new worlds are waiting for us in the valleys we never knew existed.